It seems Vice President Harris is making some changes to her staff, reportedly adding 2 crisis communications veterans who will work on long-term planning. This comes after some missteps over the last 9 months, the latest happening just 2 days ago when the vice president nodded and then praised a student who accused our strongest Mideast ally of genocide. Watch.
But then just a few days ago, there were funds allocated to continue backing Israel, which hurts my heart because it's an ethnic genocide and the displacement of people, the same that happened in America, and I'm sure you're aware of this.
But your voice, your perspective, your experience, your truth should not be suppressed.
So, Kaylee, we have a vice president here that has been put in charge of multiple issues that have frankly developed into crises under her watch. And now she's bringing in experts to manage the comms about it, but not the crises themselves.
Yes, because all she cares about, Emily, is the communications of it in her future presidential run. She doesn't care about the actual problem. Do you think she cares about the little kids on the border in horrific detention facilities, ones she used to call human rights violations? Of course she doesn't care about that. She just cares about how she's perceived. It's why she didn't go to the border until she was pressured. But it's interesting, Emily, so she's hired a strategic comms person because there's nothing strategic about the way Kamala Harris cackles when asked about Afghans hanging from planes, cackles when asked about the border. She needs advice, but unfortunately, I don't think there's any turning around the ship for her in this long-term planning they're engaging in. That's simply code for her presidential bid in 2024 or beyond. We will see.
Right, Juan, it seems pretty transparent, and yet the reality is that our tax dollars are being spent to smooth the messaging, to soften her accountability, right, to redirect attention instead of holding her accountable and getting to real results.
She's a politician, Emily, and I think all politicians have communication specialists on board. I mean, to my mind, what she did in that moment, I don't think the Israeli community, I don't think the Jewish community in America has any doubt about the Biden administration's commitment to Israel. The issue, I think, there is the young woman has a right to speak, and I think she affirmed it, but it comes across to critics as, well, this is part of, Vice President Harris's problems. I think Vice President Harris is vice president because she was a pretty good senator. She'd been elected attorney general out in California, a former prosecutor. And now I think there are people who think, well, maybe she's building this network of social activists on her way to try to run when she runs for president, which seems inevitable. But I don't think there's any question that she's a politician and she wants to be more popular. And I don't think that's something to hold against her.
Kennedy, part of the issue, too, is to Juan's point, really, that the optics are so transparent and that we have a vice president that is clearly cultivating the young vote. We see her tossing a coin at Howard. We see her here in a young school, placating students and giving them word salad so that they feel heard and they're going to fall into line and become more of Kamala's army at the electoral polls. But we don't see her actually addressing these crises in substance. We don't see her taking questions, holding pressers, traveling to the border or the like. It's so obvious, and it's frankly really unacceptable.
She's been she's been rewarded rather for failing upward, and that's what's happened throughout her entire political career. She's not an adept politician. She doesn't have mastery of the issues, certainly not of foreign policy, and President Biden, frankly, should have chosen someone who was a more substantial human being. Even though I disagree with Elizabeth Warren, at least she knows what she believes and why she believes it. Kamala Harris is a cackling, empty suit, and she has been wrong on so many issues, which is a really tough thing to do. And she has to be very, very careful here when talking about Israel, because there's a massive strain of anti-Semitism within the progressive movements, and that's what she is placating right now, and that is totally unacceptable for the Vice President of the United States.
Real quickly, Emily, one thing that I'd piggyback off of that Kennedy made the point of is, where Kamala Harris as Vice President is in this moment, and why this moment seemed to be a trigger for her team, and maybe even beyond that. We don't know who she heard from that said, you need to go hire somebody to tell you what to say. Because that's basically what just happened.
Yep.
Yeah. So she's going out to find somebody who could tell her what to say. And look, you got the situation that played out on a different talk show last week and, you know, and all the okay, get her into a room. And then it suddenly becomes like a radio interview at that point, because then you can just pass her notes if you need to. Everything's off camera. She's not on a set. I'm not saying that happened. I'm just telling you that that's how sometimes things can happen.
Right.
So now you have somebody professionally, you know, in charge of, again, because she already had a team. So now she's got a new team, I guess, telling her what to say. How does that change the message that America will hear? I'm perched to find that out, because the messenger stays the same.
Regardless, that message is just going to be one of placating Harris. I mean, we have a vice president that is like a paper doll, a two-dimensional paper doll, to Kennedy's point, that she's frankly phony. So she checks boxes that Juan listed,
yeah,
but she doesn't
has
have
a lot of power.
Anything of substance,
We can't
or
take
hasn't
that away.
accomplished anything.
She's
All
got
right,
a lot
coming
of power.
up,
7,
Amazon
8 jobs.
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.